Morning.
in those areas. And so we join now by Mandisi herself. Morning, Mandisi.
Morning, Kanya. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
I think maybe let's start right there. Sister Mildred, you
Yes.
are related to her, right?
Yes, I am related to her. She was my grand aunt, my mother's aunt.
Your mother's aunt, yes.
Yes.
And so a very interesting title that you chose for the book. It's called The Adventurous Nun.
Yes.
Why? What inspired that title?
I'm going to make it a very short story, but in our last trip, March 2020, um, she was just showing me family graveyards. And then, as we were going about our way, there was just another gentleman, just an ordinary South African, that approached us and greeted her. And he was so happy to see her. And he was telling me all these stories about her. So when I looked across her, because we were in a car, I just realized at that particular moment that my granny had actually lived her life in full, that she was well known by people, not just Roman Catholic people, but in the communities that she worked in, like the neighbors would know her. And she spoke French fluently, she spoke Swahili fluently, she had lived in 10 different countries, like Mauritius, Kenya, Congo. So for me, as someone who has just lived a comfortable life, I just realized that as much as we think that people who love God, who commit their lives to God, like your nuns, your priests, your fathers, and things like that, your bishops, we think that maybe they live, I won't say boring life, but I just saw that, wow, my granny, she was a nun, but she had just lived an adventurous life, loving God that way.
Oh, yes. And so, how did you then get to do the biography? Did you have to sit with her then and sort of go through the family tree, where she was born and all those?
Most definitely. So we started working on the book in 2016. So as a child, I've always just liked to write, to read, you know, and she would come and visit me every time she had a break. So I gave her some questions, and then she answered those questions, written notes. Obviously, we typed them, and I just had more questions. So every now and again, if she had a break, I would meet up with her. But in 2019, because I was an entrepreneur full time, I was able then to meet up with her more often than not. And she was also based here in Johannesburg, in Midrand. So I would make time, I would record interviews with her. Yeah.
So, and you, as you say, she was adventurous, so an inspiration really to be able to write the book. What would you say then has been the highlight for you, just sitting and listening to her stories and writing this book?
I think the highlight for me has been to realize at that moment that my granny, she was humble, and I think growing up I didn't realize just how worldly she was, like how sophisticated she was. I think one time we went to the Florida convent, and there she was speaking to another lady in French. And at that particular moment, I just realized the type of life that she had lived. So for me, I think that's when I just I don't know, had that moment.
Yes. And what do you then, what are you hoping people will get out of this book, The Adventurous Nun?
The Adventurous Nun is a biography of someone who, at the age of 8, realized that they wanted to become a nun and they wanted nothing else but that. And that was a life purpose. And all of us, we have a life purpose. It might not to be a nun, to be a teacher, but we have a life purpose. Yourself, Kanya, as you are on radio, you have a life purpose. I would hope that people from the book, they would learn that when you have a life purpose, you persevere, because the life of Sister Mildred was not easy. She was a nun. She came from a very poor background. Her family was poor. Her mom, I think she was the ninth, not I think, she was the ninth child. So it was a struggle for her mom to raise her. At some point, the father just abandoned them, and then the mom was left to raise Sister Mildred and her other siblings. So it was difficult. She was a professional teacher. She also studied during very difficult times in South Africa when apartheid was a real thing. But she continued, persevered. She went to Mauritius. She had to learn French. Today I may find it sophisticated that she spoke French, but she learned French, Swahili, isiZulu, because obviously isiZulu is a mother tongue, but the other languages, so that she can communicate with other people. So in order for her to fulfill her life purpose, she really stretched herself. She lived in Congo where there was a war. I can't imagine when I'm doing something that I'm called to do, but at the same time, I have to survive things like a war. And she was in Kenya, she was followed by a lion, but still she never gave up. In fact, she died in Madagascar due to COVID. Not once did she say, even then when she was in Madagascar and had COVID, that, you know what, I want to come back home to South Africa because these are the challenges that I face. I would hope that when people pick up The Adventurous Nun and they read it, they realize that honestly, if we are called to do something, we have to go through with it and trust that God will be with us along the way.
And this book then is not only for Catholics, because you practically explain what a nun is, what she does and so on, and then you get into her life and so on, and basically, well, then she ends up dying cold.
Yes.
In Madagascar.
Yes. Yes, I say that it's not only for Roman Catholic people, because I'm not Roman Catholic, I'm a Christian. So if I could write the book, if I could understand the story, if I could understand Catholic faith, yes, I would say that it's not for Roman Catholic people only, because it was not written by a Roman Catholic person to say. I would also say that a biography about a life purpose is not only for Roman Catholic. It's about all of us. It's for all of us, who have a life purpose. And I believe that all of us, we have a life purpose. Sometimes people will say that, well, as yet I don't know what my life purpose is. Then the book is for you. And for my granny, she wanted to write a life story, or to publish a story for young people. She was very passionate about young people. Now, young people will find them from all walks of life, whether they are a Roman Catholic or not. She also wanted to write the book for elderly people, because you'll find that as an elderly person, you have lived your life, but somehow, you find that maybe your spiritual growth is not strong enough. She wanted to write for those type of people.
So the book is called The Adventurous Nun, and you can get it from?
The book is called The Adventurous Nun Stories My Family Told Me, and you can get it from Pauline's Bookstore here in Joburg and also in Durban. And I do believe that they do courier online. And you can also get it from Marins Hill Repository and Bookstore in Durban, KZN. And you can also get it from my website, www.marciamandisimabaso.co.za. And I'm also having a book launch on the 19th of November 2022 from 12 to 2. And I'll be selling the books at Pauline's Bookstore here in Joburg.
So come to Pauline's on the
19th of November.
19th.
Yeah, this coming Saturday actually at 12.
So come through to the Pauline's in Kensington at 12 o'clock. You can sign it, or you can buy the book and Mandisi will sign it for you.
Yes, it will be a sip and read. So we'll be having a good time, just reflecting on the stories of our adventurous nun.
How long does it take to read this book, this biography?
For me, I'll say a week if you are committed to reading it.
Okay, so say, you know what, it's every woman's passion for Jesus and the quest, I suppose, for Jesus. At
Y-
least the challenges that we face.
yes, that's right.
Okay, so go to mashiamandisimabasa.co.za. That's the website, mashiamandisimabasa.co.za, or go through to the call lines in Johannesburg, in Kensington, or call lines in KZN, and you can actually give them a call as well. And you'll be able to get your copy there. Anything else, Mandisi, that you'd like to mention before we conclude?
No, I would just like to say thank you so much for the opportunity to talk more about the book, to share, and yeah.
We'll see you on the 19th at the launch. For more information, of course, you can call Pauline's Books Media Center, and it's 011 622 5195. If you'd like to order your copy now, it's 011 622 5195. Mandisi Mashiamabaso, thank you very much. And we hope we will be reading more from you as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Kanya. Have a great morning and a great day as well.
God bless.
Okay.